my library office the 18th, January 18th of 2013. A wonderful day to wish you a happy new year of this 2013. I want to show you my library office, and I have here about between 400 to 500 books. And for instance, I want to show you here with my light, down over there where my light is pointing, we can find books in here also. A lot of books, of most photocopies, and here are books that I bought as well. And where my red is pointing, red light is pointing. Okay, I want to show you. These are books of law. 80% of my books are books of laws, and I also know I have 5 years of law and 5 years of knowledge management. And in law, in the law area, I have, in the meantime, I work with a studio. I have got a studio as well, and well, I want to show you a little bit of knowledge management. Knowledge management, well, it's in some universities it's called informatic, that works with the information, with the web, etc., languages. And knowledge management, it works with softwares. For instance, I'll show you here with the light. Here we have softwares and hardwares. Works with hardwares, with softwares, with operational systems, how to operate the system, and with the languages. For example, this is a language that we use to program and install it in the computer. Well, the law area, I studied 5 years law and 5 years knowledge management. In the law area, I'm a little bit better. For you to understand law, you have to understand here, in the side here, with my light, science, political science, sociology, and philosophy. The three main important subjects. There is other important subject that is called economy and methods and techniques of science, of science, and of empiricism, of the sociology and of the law and of the political science. But especially in the area of the three main subjects that I will show you with the light, okay? Sociology, political science, and philosophy. In the area, we have a lot of books of philosophy in here, for instance, and I would like to show you, okay? Books of philosophy that we study in the area of the in this area of the law area, and also in the area of political science, because it's very similar. We will talk about with Hobbes, with the greatest illuminists, about Platon, Aristotle, Socrates, Parmenides, Heraclitus. We will work with Hobbes, Montesquieu, the three divisions of power: executive, judicial, and legislative. And also with Descartes, Immanuel Kant, post-Immanuel Kant, that we will find in the Romantism, in the Middle Age philosophy. For instance, we will find a lot of Saint Augustine, Saint Anselmo, Saint Thomas de Aquino. We will work, well, here for example we have Ethic, Spinoza, a book of Spinoza. It's very important. Aristotle talk about politics, the struggle for the law, Rudolf von Euren, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, one of the most mentioned philosophers, We will find a lot of books of Engels, for example, the work of the man, something like that. If I translate a little very fast. What is dialectic? It's a lot founded in philosophy, and the manuscripts, economics and philosophy. The Antichrist, the Nietzsche. Nietzsche is more contemporary, and we will find a lot of dos delitos y de las penas, the crimes and the punish of Cesar Beccaria, the father of the criminology. What else? What is social? Okay, Shane Perlman. We will find Shane Perlman when he talks about the logic of the law. One very important book is a book of Norbert Bobbio. It's right behind me. Okay, it's a very important Italian that studied the law and wrote a lot of books, such as Carne Luce and Oscar Mumbulo, other greatest philosophers, of the law. Here, for example, we will find in the history of the law, we will talk about a lot about of the origins of the philosophy, the ancient philosophy, the pre-philosophers, pre-Socratics that are mentioned here. And there are a lot of schools that will consider Heraclito and Parmenides before Socrates. Socrates and the Sophists, it's a school, and there is a period, the classic period, that will talk about Platon, its text of Republic, Aristotle, and that criticized Platon and concepts of metaphysics. That we will work a lot in the methodology, scientific methodology of the science and techniques. We will talk about the Hellenisms, for example, schools of Platonism, Aristotelism, Neoplatonism, Epicurism, the middle philosophy, the formation of the Occidental philosophy, and we will understand a lot about of the Christian philosophy. For example, San Agustin, San Anselmo, San Tomás de Aquino, that works a lot with that, and the schools, the existence of the fact existence of God, of Tomás de Aquino. We will work about of the modern philosophy. In the modern philosophy that has got its initial phase with the reform, the Protestant Reform and the the scientific revolution. We will find about Descartes, one of the greatest philosophers that we will find in the law and political science or philosophy, in any area. Descartes, argument, he used a lot of his theories. The empiricism or social effects that we will study with Durkheim, but this is Durkheim in the 1 century ago. Bacon, Locke, the ideas of Locke, liberalism, Illuminism, Pascal, Spinoza, Leibniz, Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, the Illuminism, the liberalism, the crisis of the modernity, and the critic of the pure reasons with Immanuel Kant. This Immanuel Kant will find a lot in political sciences, in law. The Hegel is a very important philosopher, and I think Hegel studied was a friend of Kant in the university, and he is also important. Afterwards we'll find Marx and his ideology, the capitalism. It's divided in 3 big books, and also the manifesto of the Communist Party between Marx and Engels. We will find here in the Marxism, George Lukács. We'll find a lot in political science, the School of Frankfurt, the Louis Althusser, the rupture with the rationalist tradition that comes with the romanticism of the, for example, Schopenhauer, Kierkegaard, Nietzsche, and in the philosophy contemporary we will find the problematic of the philosophy in the 20th century. We will find the School of Frankfurt, the School of Berlin, especially the rector of that was criticized a lot Kant, Immanuel Kant, rector called Fichte, and also the Schelling, two of the most important philosophers of the 19th century that had in Berlin and in the universities of Europe the criticism of. We will find a lot of in the rupture with the tradition. We will find Heidegger, Wittgenstein, and the thoughts of the postmodernity. I will put these books in here and talk a little bit about law. I will check if I have time. I have a little time. Okay. One more. How I have a little time, I will explain to you. I will show to you that I like very much to play guitar, and we used to dance a lot. And what motivates me to work with guitar is because I like very much guitar and classical guitar. I have a studio. I will show you my studio a little bit. My studio in here, and afterwards I will show you about low. In here I have, here I'm playing electric guitar. Here I'm playing bass. Here I play piano. I will see. Playing piano. Here I'm playing bass. Okay. Here I play electric guitar. Here's my studio, and I have a little time in here. Wow, I have drums, Zildjian plates, maple drums, the most expensive drums with Zildjian K and Zildjian A. I have a lot of guitars, classical guitars, bass, electric guitar. I also the law is divided in public and private law. For instance, in the international law we have public law, private law, commercial law, commercial private and public commercial law. I will show you also. I have a lot of instruments in here. I love very much to play myself, and I love my balance, and I always use the balance to where I go. I bring my balance with, and like very much. Here it's part of my office. Okay. And I like very much what I have in here. Thank you very much. I wanted to explain more about the public and private law, but I have a little